And we are live. Good evening, everybody. I am Tiffany, Empower Impact Ignites, and we want to just say Happy New Year. Okay, and we got the beautiful queen herself, Miss Kanae, on here as our guest this evening. Y'all know that this girl is on fire. Okay, she really is super duper lit. So we just wanted to let y'all know. Get ready because you're gonna be in for a treat, honey. She don't play no games when it comes to, the healthy lifestyle. I'm just gonna let y'all know that, okay? She's super duper holistic. She's amazing. She's a business owner. Okay, she's an awesome homemaker, mother. She's a great sister. And she got some things in store for this new year. She's been doing some some royal rising, baby. She's been doing some things that I've never seen it done at this capacity, this level of excellence, in spite of all that she's had to overcome. So, without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to the royal queen herself. Tell everybody, hey, queen.
Hey, how are you guys? I am Kanae Chanel, and Happy New Year.
Yes, so I see that you got this apparel. Okay, look, I might be saying it too proper, too wrong off with my southern accent, but turn up the volume. What kind of volume you turning up over there on your end? First of all,
Volume as in healing, volume as in spreading life and light to other people, especially during this time, of darkness to what it may, seem. But turning up the volume, it came about through my story, my abuse, my confusion, my fear. So I thought I'd create something that speak volumes to people when you can't physically talk to them or see them. They can look at your shirt, they can look at your cup, your hoodie or whatever, and be inspired.
so I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. I done jumped y'all right into what she just did right now. Cause I'm like, she's super lit. You know, that when I saw that you dropped that, I was like, this girl ain't playing. This girl not playing, but we can take it back a little bit to the beginning. I'm gonna take it back a little bit to the beginning real quick. But let's go to the hair growth oil real quick. Cause we see all that hair on your head.
Yeah.
You see all that hair on your head. Is that your real hair?
Yeah, it is.
Y'all thought she was gonna say no, ain't it? I know y'all thought she was gonna say no, but that's hers. But tell us a little bit about your non-toxic hair growth oil.
Yes, a little bit about that. It is organic, it's not toxic, it's plant-based, and it came about whenever I did the big chop. So I went completely low and I created something handmade by myself. And I saw that it began to grow like crazy. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can sell this. But not only do I have that, I have Eczema Cream. It's also organic, plant-based, high quality. My stuff comes from a farm. Now at the grocery store, like for instance, my essential oils, the beeswax that I use, I get that all from a farm.
So if you have any issues, you guys, with eczema, a lot of people are dealing with eczema, severe eczema. Make sure you're tagging and sharing this video, okay? Because we're about to really dive into some holistic conversation. One thing about Kanae, when she says non-toxics, when she says all natural, when she says plant-based, this girl surrounds her diet, her children's diet, okay, and everything around this holistic practice. I've watched this for the last few years. I've been privy to be in her kitchen, just in her presence. And I'm like, this girl ain't playing, okay? She do not play, okay? When she say plant-based, we're taking this out of the diet, we're putting that in the diet. And it's the beginning of the year, so a lot of people are trying to figure out what do they need to do to have a better lifestyle? And guess what? Your health is your wealth. So you definitely want to make sure that you start being intentional about what you consume and apply to your skin. I'm telling you, hair, skin, nails is important, your diet is important, your health is important, your mindset is important, your spiritual being is important. That's why I was super excited that this is the first queen of the top of the year that's on here the very first Sunday in our new year. So it's, I already told y'all, it's double or nothing, okay? So you're getting two queens sitting down and we're just discussing and diving into some things. Hold on, we got somebody making some comments. Hey, Toya. Hey, Toya. You better be ready. So, okay, we going back a little bit more. Because it says that these tools that Kanae have created, honestly, these are tools to help with the healing, the healing approach from inside out. Okay. So I want to ask you a question. What is it that how was the wait? Like, what is it that you had to wait? How did you wait? Let me see. How do I want to word this? From what you produce with the oils, and then with the apparels and the volume being turned up. Okay. What type of weight did you have to endure behind the scenes? Because you was talking about some of the abuse, speaking up, speaking out, even when you can't speak. So in order for you to be in a place where you could not speak, and then now you're like super lit, you're producing, you're birthing out different things, and you working with the youth, and you do praise dance. You got that. But I don't want to go all the way there yet. I just want to say, what was that weight like? When you hear the word weight and then you see what you're doing now from where you started at, how did you get there?
It depends on what you mean by weight, because I know two different meanings: weight as in burden or weight as in time.
I want to talk about the time first.
Oh, yeah. Well, all these are ideas I had 9 years ago. So it's been 9 years. I waited to actually execute. And I said that to say, because during that 9 years, I had to make sure that I kept those ideas before God. And in that wait, I had to make sure not only am I writing the vision, making it plain, I'm applying it to my own life. So during that wait process, I was applying it to my life first versus just getting a recipe or getting a t-shirt idea or getting a recipe to the eczema cream. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just getting it and then executing it. I wanted to make sure that I got it and then I applied the healing for myself. I applied the healing not only for myself, but towards my children. So when I created a t-shirt, I wanted to make sure that I was living that shirt and not just executing the t-shirt.
That makes total sense.
Products for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a t-shirt for me. It's literally a lifestyle.
So if y'all are paying attention, make sure y'all sharing this. We got Tamika talking about her grandbaby got eczema. So that means you got to get you some of this royal cream for your grandson, for JoJo. So what stood out just now when you said the number 9? Let's help somebody tonight. When you said the number 9, the main thing that came to me was birthing. Because I'm literally watching you, and sometimes people want to watch and they see, and it's like, oh my goodness, she's producing, but nobody knows about the weight that you had to endure in your private life behind closed doors, just dealing with and developing all of what it is you had in your hand. So when you say writing a vision, making it plain, and then it's a lifestyle, you applied it. See, when you wait and apply it, no one can steal what you've waited to birth out because you protected it. So it's really foolproof. You know what I'm saying? Because she was saying wait as in time, then wait as in burden. Because we're going to get into that. But I want somebody to know, even if you got to wait, Kanae she's living proof of what waiting look like. Because when she rise, let me tell you, cream rise to the top. Period. That means the cream of the crop, the best of the best. It don't matter what tried to weigh her down, what tried to stop her. Guess what? It came forth into full fruition. So now this cream that people are already purchasing, because it's just not a local brand, is already, you know, selling, selling out. And it's like, because she waited to the appointed time to share what it is that God gave her to produce. I mean, I can only imagine what your sale's going to look like this year, but each sale is a testament of what you waited on behind the scenes, because you already seen it work privately, for your own kids. That's amazing. Um, Look, I think the people might want to know, wait, do you got to, look, what's your website, Kane?
www.kanaychanel.com. And for now is a landing page. I just got my pictures back for my website. So, but if they would like to order, they can go to my business Facebook page and just inbox me.
So, because I think some of y'all ready to order that cream right now. We want y'all to stay here, but if you're ready to order the cream right now, you can go ahead and go to the Facebook page, which is that just the Kane Chanel, or is it the Royal?
They can find my Facebook, everything on the landing page. At the bottom of the page, all my social media sites is on there for you to follow.
Mm-hmm. And that's www.KENEECHERNELL.com, you guys. Okay, somebody can drop that in the chat if y'all would like to. And we're going to keep going in, because now let's talk about the weight, the burden. Let's talk about some of the burdens that you had to bear over these last few years. Because I mean, they seeing the queen, they seeing the shine right now. They seeing the shine. They don't know the grind. They don't know the burden. They don't know what you had to endure and or face internally, externally, to be able to just show up in this royal way. It's just this essence of strength that you illuminate since I met you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't know how strong we look or appear even on the outside when we're dealing with certain things. So let's talk about the weights, the burden of some of what this queen had to endure.
Where do I start? I guess I'll start with my son. Being that we're talking about the eczema cream, the burden of my son, of him being diagnosed with chronic eczema, and as a mother not being able to help him was one of the biggest burdens, and watching him suffer and in and out of the pediatrician's office, the hospital, because he's been scratching so much, blood in the bed, telling him he can't go outside right now because if he goes outside, he'll break out from the grass, from the sun. The burden of changing washing powders, his eating style, but the greatest burden of not knowing what to do. So I said that to say I started this journey because I got tired of watching him suffer. So as a parent, as a mom, I needed to be disciplined enough to say, okay, what do I need to do? And I'm going to do whatever needs to be done so that you won't have to suffer no more. So you won't have to suffer. Just watching him scratch at night. The eczema was on his cheeks. The eczema was behind his legs, on his elbows. It was it was spreading in his hair. So going to different doctors, telling them what's the issue, but them not being able to give me a solution, battling with different steroids, different creams, different food options that he could have and couldn't have. I just got fed up, and dealing with all this by myself was a lot, but taking the time to say, no, I'm going to do the research myself. And while
Mm-hmm.
the research, I'm teaching the pediatrician different things that I'm learning because they don't know, but they tried. Kudos to all you pediatricians. Teaching them and telling them what you're giving me isn't working and I'm not going to use it anymore. I had to be bold to say that, of course, in a respectful way, but to tell them I'm not going to use that anymore. It's causing more damage than good.
Mm.
Really buckling down on my research in and out the health food stores, being up at night, watching him uh in and out the room, putting cream on, going back to sleep, get back up, making sure he's not bleeding, he's not scratching as much. That was a lot. And I said that to say, as of now, he don't have eczema, he don't have outbreaks, he's healed completely from the inside out. So I know that all of my quote unquote at that time what we may call burdens, it is over. And everything is for a moment in time. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. There's a time and a season for everything. So for whatever we go through, God say, no, there's a set time for it to be over. So he doesn't have eczema, uh nothing, no residue, no mark.
Mm.
Oh, what was this scar from? He don't have any scars. So I know that my hard work and my consistency and my self-discipline was not in vain.
How long did that last? How long did
Mhm.
that season of what you just shared with us last?
That season of he was, let's say, 6 months, either 5 or 6 months in that time. Uh, it lasted for about a year, or probably a year and some change. 6 months. It he was healed when he was 1.5.
Okay.
No, probably 2.
Okay.
But things happen so fast. I don't know the exact time because my mom was so focused on, no, you're gonna be healed from this. Nope, you're gonna be healed. So at the time didn't matter.
And how old is he now?
He is 6.
So he's been healed the last 4 years of his life. He's 6 and he was dealing with this severely at 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give or take 2 years old. By the time he was 2, mama already had been studying, researching, going back and forth to the doctors, but at the same time being led. I mean, that had to be nothing but the Lord giving you that insight and that unction to, develop this cream and at the same time wait to share it. Because
Right.
when did you release the oils? Was that last year? Was that before COVID or after?
Um, in the midst of COVID. So
Yeah.
last year, yeah.
One of the things that stood out while you was sharing, I was like, that's a selfless act. Like that's super selfless. Because we are living in a world right now. A lot of people are selfish. They wouldn't even fathom the time that it probably took for you to find and figure out how to develop this formula, even in the time that it take to just go before God and as you're praying for your child, going
Right.
into the doctors, doing this, doing that. So when you hear, I mean, when I'm saying that that's selfless, what comes to your mind in the act of doing that? That you may want to share with a mother that may be feeling like she don't got that type of time, or maybe she don't have that level of boldness, or she hasn't. She don't know what being selfless as a mom feel like. What would you share with a mother, right now that may not know how to be as selfless as it took, in that season?
Um, there are resources out there. There are people that can help you. And as you seek God, like it has to start with the heart. Like if God knows that you want, something to come about, and that's just with anything, he will make a way for that to happen for you. So whether you feel like you have time or you don't have time, if you simply ask, he will give you the tools, because he knows everybody's life is different. He knows everybody is wired different. And he knows for me that I'm a very strategic person, so he knows how he wired you. So that's one thing, we should never compare ourselves to a different mom. We should never compare ourselves to the next person, because everybody has been graced to be wired.
Mm.
And there is a grace that comes on you when you desire to do a thing.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's good right there. She talking about that grace, y'all. I was just studying and talking about there's a grace on my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that you just said that, which is confirmation to encourage any mother, anyone out there listening. There's a grace on your life to do what it is God has called you to do, to raise those kids, to create and develop, whatever it is that you're called to do. So that way you can really be encouraged. That's what this girl is on fire is really all about. Because I know from developing that, going through that, being here with us this evening, you talk about your products, how they are created to help build self-confidence and royalness. Okay. So tell me about how your confidence maybe went through the roof. I'm hoping it went through the roof once you saw that it worked. Okay. How did you feel? How did your confidence feel? How did your royal attitude come about once you realize, okay, what I've been working on, it really worked. What I just sold and put this label on, they really bought it and gave me a review, because you're nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
um, as well as local, distributing to locals and across the nation. So how did that feel?
How did it feel? First off, before I even released it or even thought about selling it, I'm like, okay, yeah, he healed. And then I'm like, wait a minute. The Lord was like, you can sell it. I'm like, okay. So at first it was just like, I don't think nobody will buy it, because I just love, being a mother. I just love having tools to heal. So why not have those tools not only for my home, but for other people? So when I first started selling, I'm like, oh snap. And I know my company is, royalness, and having a mindset like, Christ wants us to have. So one of my saying is thinking like royalty should. So when you have the mindset of Christ, of saying, wait a minute, I am royal. Wait a minute, this is something. Wait a minute. Like you said, my confidence went through the roof, because hold on, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. So my product can put me in that position,
Yes.
that, you know what I'm saying, and be confident in it without shying away. Like, no, what I have works, and I spent years doing this, not just for the money, but because it was just a passion to see other people healed, because I watched my son be healed.
Yes. Not just for the money, you guys. Hurt your confidence. This is something money can't buy.
Right.
Money is like a byproduct of something when you're sure in it. And even if you're out there and you're developing something or working on something right now, let me tell you, if you don't believe in what you're working on or what you're selling, I hope you don't expect nobody else to want it, because we're not gonna want it. Okay? Or we're gonna want a refund. That's what we're gonna want, a refund. But when you use it, when you take your time, your passion, and you put it in behind the scenes, don't be surprised when you put it out there. It's completely sold out, because it was ready. It was ready for you to put it in the market. The market is ready. This is a conversation that we as believers because I'm sitting with a woman of God that is filled with the Holy Ghost fire too as well. Let me put that in there. We as believers sometimes we don't know how to have the marketplace conversation. And we can be sometimes operating with either a low self-esteem or false humility, because at the end of the day now we don't know how to be confident in what it is that we have been chosen to create and put out, to the people. So when you take your time to be diligent, to study, show yourself approved. Is nothing wrong with being confident, like, no, this really works. This ain't no flam. This really works. I have the results right here. I got the receipts or whatever, like what people say, which is your reviews. You got your son. You're going to have this testimonial for the new reviews that's going to come in from the clients that will catch this conversation, that may have not heard about these royal products yet, or the royal queen herself. So that way is making way, for you even more. That's what it's all about, y'all. We got to learn how to really rise up into that royal place so people can know what it is you got. Because if you have a gift of healing, if your testimony, okay, because that's how we're supposed to overcome, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. If what we have can be shared with others and they're willing to pay for it, but what they're getting is actually priceless, then who are we to rob the people, of that opportunity? Because really we're just vessels, we're just servants. And when you talk royalty, you can't talk about being royal without mentioning the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, because that is who we move and operate in and through. What you about to say, Queen?
Oh no, I'm listening. I'm agreeing. Head with your bad self.
Listen, she's an amazing listener too. That's one thing I love about Kanae. Let me tell you, she will listen, she will wait, she will double check, she will check again.
Right, yeah.
She will check again and again to make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. And a lot of times, especially in our day and age, we don't be doing all that checking. We don't. So I definitely salute you, Queen. I definitely respect you. I respect how you operate. I respect how you move. Even when I don't understand, I'll be like, what's this over there doing? I don't care. I respect how you move, because it does something for me. It lets me know that, okay, you need to either step it up, you need to clap it up for that next queen. You need to, because we should know, we should be okay with respecting the essence of the next woman, and instead of competing. How does that feel? How have you ever had to deal with that? Any jealousy, anyone competing with you that you didn't even know, that you might have just thought was your homegirl, and the whole time they was looking at you as a sincere threat? Because I mean, you're beautiful, you got a head full of hair, you're smart, you're witty, you're creative. Talk about any of that, and how you had to deal with some of that.
I actually did. I did. Heartbreaking, but when you know how you operate, and when you're so used to being with the Father, like, you just have that assurance that whatever happens, God will heal your heart and you can keep it moving. So yes, I've had jealous people, and it never fails, but I always be left in a sense of confusion, like, well, what did I do, and what? But I know, you know what I'm saying, what I carry and what's on my life. But it's just the cycles of, dog, not again. Like, what do I possibly have? Especially being a homemaker, I guess that was the biggest confusion for me. I'm like, I don't have a career. Like, I'm home with the kids and, cooking and cleaning. Obviously, what do you have to be jealous? Because I want to work. I want to be, doing what, quote unquote, everybody else is doing. But it has always been my passion to just nurture and, just be me. So yeah, I've had, jealous people, but that's okay, because they got me to the place where I am today. Here, they helped me be who I am. And that's what matters.
So you appreciate that. So that's good. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's Let's let the people know how we ended up crossing.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Huh?
I just want to tell them thank you.
Yes. So let's let the people know, how do we cross paths, or how are we still kind of pretty much able to hop on the phone call, laugh a little bit, even outside of moments like this, because I know that I met you in a service that wouldn't have been like a normal crowd, or just a normal just it wouldn't have been where I would have really been at. But that done been like a few years ago. So from that time to, right now, kind of, so they can know that sisterhood, still exists. Because we met as complete strangers. So, but from your perspective, let them know how I am Tiffany.
Yes, we met as complete strangers. I believe I was dancing at a church, and she came over and prayed with me, and that never happens. Like, I'm always like to myself, gather myself after I minister. And she just came over. I'm like, girl, don't tell, girl, don't tell. But in that moment, I desperately needed someone to cover me. So from that moment, we've just been connected ever since. Like, even with you opening up your dance studio or your studio to me, without questions asked, hey, come here, you can use the studio. What? Like, that's really big. Like, in my moment of need, in my season of need, one of the hardest seasons of my life, you stepped up for me. You stepped up. And it was very, very, very appreciated. Sisterhood is real. Everybody is not there to rob you, take from you, be there to be jealous of you, to talk down on you, but to actually build you up. Because I've had so many tear me down, I had to get used to someone building me up.
And that's very important, you guys. We gotta get used to what may have not been the norm. Okay. And that's why I created like, I don't mind doing this podcast. Okay, this girl is on fire, because a lot of us are missing that sisterhood, and we think that we gotta have the years to match the relationship all the time, and it just really don't always happen like that. I actually got a sister that did the same exact thing, and that's my sister Veta. But she fed my kids one night when I was working, trying to get a client, well, trying to finish up my last client. And before she left, she was like, she didn't even ask me. She just went and got them some food and gave it to them. And I was like, who are you? Where have you been all my life? And I'm like, that was encouragement for me and confirmation that, okay, it's some good sisters out here, and they might not look like what we thought they was gonna come packaged as. She was older than me. She was married. I was separated at the time. I just had a lot going on, but I was just still me. And I'm like, when God starts sending you good people that can really treat you like you treat others, or even better, let me tell you, you want to embrace that, because it do exist. And so many women have been broken. So many women have been used, abused, mistreated. I mean, and they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do, and they don't know how to value and appreciate that type of sisterhood. I do want to share a little bit with you all about Kanae's dancing. Her dance ministry is super powerful. We cannot be on here and not talk about that. She, I mean, that has a name. What is it? Justice? What is it? Am I missing?
Mm-mm.
Is Justice? That's it. Listen, the girl, everything she got is strong and fierce. Do y'all hear these names? Royal. We got Justice. I mean, let me tell you, she is a warrior in my eyes. So I want them to kind of know about that, and how you started Praise Dance, and how did the whole Justice come about. Because when I hear justice, I think about fighting for the rights. Y'all already see we on here, honey, with our natural hair, so y'all already know it's power to the people around here. Don't act like you don't know. So
Okay.
I'm telling you, okay, we giving off these free the people vibes, okay?
crazy.
So, but tell them about that praise dance. Like, how did you become a praise dancer? How did you know you was gonna be a praise dancer? Like, let's go into that.
I didn't know. I actually danced in high school. I was on the color guard. I did the flag, and I danced. So I'm flagging. Okay, now it's time to dance on the band. I danced on the band. I traveled with the band. I did Benedict band for, well, I did the tryouts, and I ain't like waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, but I always wanted to praise dance. But when I tried, it just didn't work out. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stick to dancing. So I did it after I had my first son. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. I always wanted to, dance in the church. So that first year I did it, it was just like life changing for me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that was actually my first year dancing in the church. And it was just like a light went off. Like, I don't want to leave this place. Like, I don't care what I have to do, what other dancing I have to give up. I'll do that. But that name came about going back to my story, Justice. In prayer, I'm like, okay, God, just studying my word. I'm like, wait a minute, Justice. And he gave me a scripture to go behind it. I'm like, well, are you sure? Like, I just want to dance for you. I can dance in my room. I can dance in my room. Like, I don't have to dance in front of people. But when he showed me that I am a person who gives justice to those who have been wrongly accused, who have been abused, misused. No, there is justice for those who have been abused and misused. Like, God sees you. He cares about you. So,
Yes.
and I appropriate through Christ healing and deliverance and strength and wisdom, like all that in one. He's like, go set my children free, set them free. I'm like, thank you, but I don't know how to do that. I'm new, and I was a new believer.
Yeah.
Well, I always believed I was newly walking this thing out. I'm like, well, you're just gonna have to lead me. So he began to lead me and guide me and instruct me and basically fill me with everything that I need to fulfill that assignment. So yeah, it's a really heavy ministry. Like,
The warfare.
it's a lot of warfare. Some days I'm just like, you can have it. You can have it. I'm done. So yeah.
Have you been doing any dancing lately, or do you plan to do any ministering and dance this year with everything that's going on with the company?
Um, it's my heart's desire, but with the company, like, everything is like moving so fast.
Yeah.
The opportunity presents itself. Yeah, I still may do it.
Okay. So with that being said, let's share for those that may, because you was talking about you being a new believer, well, newly walking with the Lord. You was talking about your desire shifting from being a color guard, dancing on the band, and then you was you did not mind giving that up to walk with the Lord and go into the setting of the house of God. Of course, you've grown more. But let's talk to someone that may have felt the same way, and or now they're not where they wanted to be because maybe they experienced some church hurt or some burdens or different things like that. Let's encourage the people and tap in on that conversation, because again, it is the beginning of the year, and everybody, even if they know that they're not going to go or serve how everyone was serving pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, I really want to grow with God. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to get over maybe what has been done to me down through these years. I need justice for me. They just heard you, talking about maybe what that type of vindication, might look like, feel like, or sound like. So since we're here, let's talk about, that.
Yeah. So, wanting to grow in Christ. So when I went in church, I was definitely blindsided. I didn't know. I just wanted to love on God. I didn't understand church or any of that. My focus was God. So when those things came about, I'm like, oh my God,
These are her real reactions, y'all.
this like God, I love you. I'm never going back to church in my life. I can dance out here for you and with you by myself. And he's like, what good is that? You know what I'm saying? What good is that if I place something on the inside of you? Don't don't idolize the church. And at that time I didn't know that I made church my idol.
Mm.
Okay, if I'm going to church, then God, he there and ain't nobody gonna, I was naive, ain't nobody gonna hurt me. We all can kumbaya together and hold hands and just love on Jesus. But I am now aware that you have to be watchful. You can love God and still have boundaries. You can love God and still be firm, and you can still have a relationship at home, because that's where it starts. So if you want to grow in Christ, don't make church an idol. Keep God in the forefront. Keep God, the source of your life. Don't let the building be the source, because as we see now, that it can shut down anytime it wants.
Yeah.
Nothing is stable right now. And even if it was stable, God should still be the source. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to grow in Christ, get in his face for real, and not just be comfortable with just sitting on the pew, because I guess I was comfortable. Oh, I got to get to church just to sit there. Oh, I feel better because I'm in a church. But it was certain internal things that was going on that I didn't address at home nor in a church. But because I was in the house of God, I felt I was covered and I was safe. But God said, no, you got to get in my face and unveil some stuff that I'm trying to dig up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's about personal relationships. So if you ain't honest with me, if you're not talking to me, I don't know what's going on with you. You can't blame the church about the hurt. You know what I'm saying? And if it was some hurt, you have to forgive, give it to me, and allow me to mature you.
Yeah.
So we can't control other people's actions, but we can control our reaction.
That's good. That's good because one of the things Kane was saying about just the stable part, God is our stabilizer. God is the source. And a lot of people have gotten comfortable with trying to make everything a source when the other stuff is a resource. Yes, it's great to fellowship amongst other believers. But guess what? That same type of fellowship is the fellowship to the ministry, where the word of God says ministry start at home, then it goes abroad. That same type of fellowship is what we're doing now. We're communing. So if you want to grow, you don't have to wait till next Sunday. You can begin growing now, but allow God to grow you. Get in his face, get in his presence, and allow him to teach you how to forgive, teach you how to live for him, teach you how to be true, being true to you. Set those boundaries. Those are new things that we have to, learn, whether we're new believers, newcomers, or older. Because sometimes when you're older, you got to unlearn some things. So that way we can really let God just begin to teach us how to be everything that he has called us to be. So that way you're not letting the brokenness, the hurt, the pain, the burdens of life, keep you down and bound. Because who the Son set free is free indeed. And that will allow you to rise up and be a bold, soldier. When you get fed up of just sitting down, sitting back, bench warming, not doing nothing, hating on the next person that's rising and elevating, you can really be honest with yourself and just let God know that you ready. You ready to grow. You ready to grow. You ready to be changed, healed inside out. Y'all, it's 2022. A lot of people not taking all that drama because God done been healing us and teaching us how to set boundaries and tell people no and stuff. So you're going to have to learn how to accept no and still walk in love. And you're going to have to learn how to say yes to certain things and then grow up and then give God your best. And the people that you called to serve, give them your best, whether that's in the community or in business. You know, how is that? Let's go to that. Let's talk business and serving the people because we can talk a little bit about customer service. Share with the people the royal aspect of customer service from a kingdom perspective, how you operate and move in business and what made you get to that, you know, type of mindset.
Mm-hmm. How did I customer service? I had to understand that the church was the church. And though I didn't understand, because my biggest question was, well, do we talk about business in here? Like, are they tools in here? Like, I'm the type of person, okay, if I'm attending a place, like, help me with business, help me with this. I try to get everything from one place.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, from one place, but sometimes you have to separate.
Yeah.
Business, like, you have to separate all these different things. Dance, I have to separate. Oh, for instance, dance, I have to separate that from my oils. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure that I didn't just think about doing a business. I had to make sure that I had to um, make sure that I'm living out the word of God. So taking the church and bringing it into my home and not expecting people, whether they're going to help or not expect people to understand the vision God gave me. Boom, that was my issue. I tried to make other people understand the vision that God gave me. So when God give you a vision, he'll give you the tools that you need to operate in the vision that he has given you. And whether that be business, he'll teach you on how to manage your vision. So for instance, when I sell a product, I like to put the crown on the people's head. I like to take the picture so they can feel like, royalness. They can feel royal. They can feel good about starting the healing journey. So everybody customer service is going to be different based on
Mm-hmm.
their vision. You know what I'm saying? So I might not do what you do because that's your vision. You know what I'm saying? But for my company, I like to engage with my people, put the crown on, talk to them, go above and beyond, not just the product, but to check in and to make sure that you have that accountability partner. Okay, you put the cream on, but that's not enough. What are you eating? What are you doing to maintain your skin? What are you doing to maintain um, the things that makes you feel good? Self-care. I talk about self-care
Yeah.
because with skin, you still have to manage stress. Are you taking care of yourself? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got to that point because I had to make sure that I was living out godly principles and not just sitting on the pew, but actually living it out and being okay with that.
So with the boys, because customer service, do the boys help out with the business or anything like that?
Yes, they do. My son passed out business cards. One time I signed him up for a cooking class, and without me knowing, he took my business cards to his cooking class and gave it to his teacher. And, she was like, "Oh, I want you to come then." I'm like, "Oh, then what?" I didn't talk to you, about my business or anything. She was like, "Your son told me everything that you did. He gave me your business card." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Thank you." Yeah, like my children, I think they're little men. They're men. They're not children, but they prefer to dress up over wearing regular clothes. So it's engraved in them to say, business, this is how you carry yourself, this is how you present yourself, this is how you know what I'm saying, have the mindset of kingdom. So it's not just business, it starts from the inside out, being kingdom minded. And when you get into business, it'll just be natural.
Yes. Well, I hope y'all been enjoying us for the last 50 plus minutes, because this queen been dropping some real jewels on us tonight, just about how she's gotten where she's at, because you're going to see a whole lot more of her this year. She's been working very diligent behind the scenes, and that's what she do. She's been a homemaker about 10 years. Now she has grown. I mean, just blossoming. I mean, she putting crowns on other people because she is wearing hers. Can't nobody knock it off, knock it down. If I see it leaning or whatever, I'm lifting it and putting it right back where it needs to go. So I love it. Is there anything that you want to share with somebody that may not be stabilized in their emotions or in their mind or in their life or in their business, as we're about to wrap it up? Is there anything that you want to share with them, from that type of perspective? Because a lot of people sometimes allow a lot of stuff to just have them all over the place, and they don't know how to even, emotionally process it. That was one of the things that you have expressed, that you've definitely grown in that area. So we can't have a queen on here that has grown in an area that a lot of women, I mean, a lot of people really need to know how to operate with emotional intelligence. Is there anything that you would like to share with us before we get off of here in that area?
Make sure to take care of yourself. um your business will be okay. Like whatever you think is bigger than you, your emotional stability comes first. Because without you, there is no business. Without you, your children won't be taken care of. Without you, nothing can run, nothing can operate. So if you need therapy, get therapy. I go every Monday. If you need help, get help, ask for help. And that's one of the things, sometimes we struggle with, is asking for help. If you need help, ask for help. If you need anything, make sure that you prioritize yourself. Make sure that you set healthy boundaries. Make sure that you um, start from the beginning. Like for me, I try to, I guess, run into business, run into this, run into that. But when you don't start from the beginning, the childhood, that can mess up, the now, the present, and the future. So once you start with the past and start unraveling that stuff, your emotions will become stable. You'll be able to think clearly. Fear will just start, falling off. And make sure that you do affirmations. Make sure you do affirmations. So there's nothing in the world that can be above your mental health, period. And that's what makes you a queen. That's what makes you a king. When you say, this is what I need and I'm going to get it, that's a royal mindset. Because when you have the royal mindset, you have the understanding, my spiritual state is what makes me me. My emotional state is what makes me me. Mm-hmm. And
That's good.
putting God first. When you do the natural, God will do the supernatural for you. Do the
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll supersede what you have already done.
Mm. Let me tell you, y'all can't sit in the presence of royalty and not feel lifted. That's the power of our words, life and death. When she was talking about the affirmations, just knowing putting God first, speaking life into yourself. Do what you need to do on the natural end because God already ready and has already superseded anything and everything we can think of. All he's waiting on us to do is do our part so we can really rise up with that kingdom mindset, with that kingdom thought process, kingdom conversations. That's how you're supposed to be lifted. You're not supposed to be drained. Every time you open your mouth and sit with people and be on the phone and doing all this, you should be ready to go to another level, the next level.
Right.
You should be ignited each time you're in a place of royalty, a conversation of with a king or a queen, somebody that is ready to take you where they at or bring you up where they at. This is what it should feel like. It should be breathtaking, but in a good way. Like, wow, this is a breath of fresh air because now I know what that look like. I know how I should be thinking. I know how I should be operating. I know that it's okay to deal with and process things. Deal with things as a mother. Deal with things mentally. Deal with things from a childhood that the people that might have caused it might not even be here no more to live to apologize for some of that stuff. That is very important. So that way we can move freely, in the right posture, not slumped over, but seated in heavenly places, receiving the things that God wants us to receive and operating in the way that God wants us to operate. I definitely want to say thank you so much, Kanae, for being the guest tonight on the podcast. You guys, make sure you connect with Kanae. Go to the landing page at www.kanaechanel.com, and on the landing page you can connect with her on all her social media outlets. Okay, you can place your orders because it works. Her stuff is proven. She's shipping and selling nationwide as well as locally. If anything that she has said and you want her to vend at your events, okay, her and her royal products with her little businessmen, let her know so you can get on her calendar. Okay, because she is a very orderly, like she likes to be organized. So don't wait to the last minute because even if it's clear, it just might cost you a little more to get her because ain't nobody operating like that. Okay, she don't play. She like to be on time. She like to show up right. And if it's something that you need her to do to work with your youth, hit her up. This woman operates in excellence, and I'm excited about your business. I'm excited about your ministry. I'm excited about what God has in store for you for these next 363 days of 2022.
Day 2. So excited.
Yes. So you guys make sure y'all click the notification buttons. Make sure y'all stay tuned because it is a few more queens that we got coming up, and we want to make sure that you're connected. One thing I love about Kanae, she has been a supporter of Queen City Dynasty. So if you find yourself being a woman and you just don't know, you don't feel like you got enough business-minded women around you, we want to definitely invite you into the Dynasty. We want you to refer anyone that may be a girl that's on fire in your city. Let me tell you, let's get them on the podcast so that way they can just share what it is that they're doing. Because let me tell you, it's strength in numbers. It is strength in numbers. Okay. So it's no secret to that. I am Tiffany. Empower, Impact, Ignite. That's what you're going to get every time I click these buttons. Either I'm going to show up or I'm going to allow myself to grace the place with another queen. In all due respect, you look good, queen. Keep glowing, keep growing. Until next time, you guys, we will catch y'all later, and make sure y'all share, tag, because somebody need to get this eczema cream, honey.